Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're on my wife's 2016 Ford Flex. It's got the 3.5 liter non-turboed engine in it, and it's due for an oil change. I like to keep these changed around 5,000 miles on this vehicle. I know a lot of times you can go 10, and then Amsoil even does 25,000, but maintenance is the key for the longevity of a vehicle. So stuff that I don't do a heavy use, heavy tow on, I do at 5,000. My heavy tow vehicles, I do 3,000. But anyways, let me go ahead. I drove this to the parts store and got everything, so it is warmed up. I recommend doing that. And then of course, I've already got it up on the wheel chocks. So let me show you the next step. All right, so looking on the engine bay here, see it says 520. I actually put 530 in it. It's what that means, if you don't know, is that's your winter weight and then your summer. So 5 in the winter, 20 in the summer. So I still keep it 5 in the winter. I just bump it up to 30 in the summer. So what I do is I'll go ahead and take that cap off, and then I'll pull the oil dipstick out. And what that does is it's gonna let it vent when I take the plug out on the bottom. But I'll show you, you can kind of see it. You see the white down there, that's the filter. It's super easy to get to, but let me get up underneath and show you that. All right guys, so this is one of the easiest vehicles in the world to change oil in. Your oil filter's right up front. So, I mean, wide open for you to get to. Then your oil plug is right directly in the back. And that's a 15 millimeter. So I went ahead and got my catch can here. I'll break that loose and let that drain. I'll let it drain for a good 10-15 minutes because I'll have to put the plug back in and move my pan up underneath the filter to take it off. So let's go ahead and pull that and get it draining. Another thing I always like to do while the oil is draining is I'll get my plug out, inspect it, inspect this gasket, and just make sure to get it all cleaned off. And then I'll clean the surface before I put it back in, just make sure there's no dirt or grime between it and the gasket that could potentially cause a leak or even damage the seal. All right guys, so I wiped that end down, put that plug back in. Always turn it down to where it's snug with my fingers, and then I'll give it about 1/8 a turn. You don't want to ever take it too much because that is an aluminum pan, and you'll strip those threads out easy. So now the next thing is I went ahead and put my oil filter wrench on here, and you can see you got plenty of room to work with. So I'll just, as you can see, the filter's spinning easy. So I'm going to move my pan up here, get that out, and I'm just going to let that drain 10 minutes or so. Now these times are relative because I'm working on other stuff. You can let it drain as long as you feel comfortable, but I'll show you the next inspection after you get this filter off. All right, once your filter's off, you just want to inspect and make sure your oil O-ring is still on your filter. Because if you look, and that little black circle right here, which is your O-ring gasket, is not on the filter, that means it got stuck up on your oil filter housing, which you can see mine didn't. But always double check that, because if you double stack O-rings, then you're gonna have a oil leak. It's gonna spray out, it's gonna be a mess. You have to do this all over again. So easy check, just to make sure. We'll let that drain for a little bit, clean the surfaces, and I'll show you from there. All right, so all the oil's drained out. I got the new filter. I got this cane in when it came with the oil change kit at Advance Auto. I got my Mobil 1 530 sitting in the back. So these have an inch socket adapter here on the back so you can tighten it. But always what I do is first always lubricate the oil ring with some old oil. Just these come dry, so this just helps with the good seal. I've already cleaned up underneath, so what I'm going to do is take this filter, thread it on by hand, and then tighten it with my hand as tight as I can get it. And then I'm going to put the socket and ratchet on there and just give it a 1/4 turn just to make sure it's snugged. So it actually has instructions here. I've never seen them before, but it shows oil in it. Put it up on there, and once you get it tight, do a 3/4 turn. But I've always done as tight as I can get it with my hand, and then another 1/4 turn with the ratchet. So let's go ahead and get it on there. All right, got my funnel in place. Mobil 1 530. I'm gonna put this, this is the 5-quart jug. This vehicle calls for 6, but what I'm gonna do is put 5, start it, back it off here, and actually pull it in on a level surface, and then get a reading on the dipstick and add what I need. All right guys, so I pulled it in the garage here. I ended up having to add that other quart. You can see where it put me. It's just right below on the hash line. As soon as the oil, all the oil settles down, it'll be up to where it needs to be. So I'm not going to add anything more. So 6 quarts was the charm. Now we have one last step to this process after putting everything on here, and that's get inside and reset the oil life. So let's move to that. All right, sitting in the vehicle here, we're gonna press the start button until it gives us basically ignition power without starting it, because I don't need it started. Once we got that, we can go okay. Let me get you closer here. All right, so we can hit over on the pad, go down to settings, vehicle settings, and then there we've got oil life reset. So we was at 58%. I'm gonna hold okay. You see it's resetting. Oil life is set to 100%. And we can go back out. There we go. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe and go follow me on Instagram at MustangJackson67. And drop your comments below. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them for you. But I'm going to go ahead and get these tires rotated. It is all-wheel drive with directional tires, so that's an X pattern. But I'm not going to show you and bore you through all that. It's pretty simple. But until next time, let's keep building.